everybody, and welcome to the 2014 Kia World Extreme Games here in Shanghai, China. It has been a festive atmosphere as thousands of people have come out to watch some of the best action sports athletes in the world. They have had their opportunity to be a part of what is a fantastic event here in Shanghai, China. And there's plenty of food and plenty of people that are here live here in Shanghai, getting ready to watch a full day of action.
Coming up, we'll be taking a look at some BMX MiniMega. But first, let's take a look at Vince Byron.
I'd say my training routine's pretty relaxed. It's all at my own pace, on my own schedule, how I like to do it. So I know how dialed I need to be and how prepared I need to be for certain contests. So I'll practice, the certain tricks and stuff like that. I also like to try and stay fit and that sort of thing and play other sports. Surfing, basketball, like whatever. Sometimes go to the gym when I have time, that sort of thing, basically, and always riding my bike in one way or another. My heroes growing up were like Matt Hoffman and Dave Mirra, and nowadays it's more of my friends and my peers that I look up to, and my inspiration, to keep people interested in the sport and that sort of thing. And it makes me happy when I see kids get excited about watching us ride, me and my friends and that sort of thing, and to bring new things to the table, new tricks and that sort of thing. That's always inspiring to do that. I always love coming to Shanghai. It's like my 6th time here, I think. Always a good crowd. Everyone gets really excited, gets me pumped up. So the competition also is, it's pretty strong. So I've got some guys to compete against, which is pretty good. But I'm looking to see what I can do to bring it back out on top.
And we will break it down for you, the BMX MiniMega final. The crowd on hand, it is a great crowd, and the conditions could not be any more perfect than they are. A slight wind, the bike riders will deal with that as they are professionals, and here is a look at the rules and how it breaks down. 10 athletes compete, 4 runs per athlete. The highest score wins. We'll have that running total for you to keep you abreast of who's in the lead and who needs some help to get there. The 10 athletes, well, they are some outstanding athletes, some athletes that you have become familiar with here in the course of watching the Kia World Extreme Games over the last several years. And you can see Zach Newman will be our first rider to go in, and then we'll be followed by Ben Snowden. Now, if you look at the bottom, Vince Byron has been the guy to beat over the last couple of years here at the Kia World Extreme Games, but also in the middle of the pack at number 6, watch out for Simon Tabron. He is a fantastic rider. He can pretty much win a contest in the blink of an eye. But the riders, again, they will have 4 cracks at this, and they have to do tricks on both ramps. So you've got the quarter pipe that finishes it off. The key is execution.
That's exactly it. Zach Newman coming in, starting things off. Tail whip. Zach is a new one when it comes to riding this big ramp. Big boosting air on the quarter pipe. Great look at it, Aaron.
Here we go with Michael.
Superman seat grab, yeah, Michael. And then it's the quarter pipe, clicking a look back. Now the key is you gotta do tricks on both. You can do an amazing trick on one, and if you don't trick the big quarter pipe, your score is not gonna be as high. So it's double is important for you to land both of your tricks. We see Michael going Superman seat grab right there. Douglas Liche will be our next rider from Sao Paulo, Brazil. First time out here at the Kia World Extreme Games.
Aaron gets an 84, so he has the top score so far to beat in run number 1. They get 4 runs in all, and it goes by pretty fast. They'll narrow it down to a top 5, and then those 5 will move on to the final. And that is as steep as it looks right there on that shot.
You're absolutely right. Backflip over the gap. And then getting tabletop, big air right there.
And Simon, you just never know what this guy can crank up with, but here, what do you think about this?
That is a massive air right there. Probably one of the highest airs we've seen so far out of Liche.
So blowing a little stronger now with some gust.
Tabron dropping in. 360 over the gap. What has he got? He can boost. 540 on the quarter pipe. That's the most difficult trick we've seen on that quarter pipe so far.
And we'll take a look at it one more time. Here's the 360.
It is very difficult to 360 that ramp. It's actually easier to backflip than it is to 360. And then Simon firing out a nice 540 right there. Colton, a seasoned veteran at riding these type of ramps. You can expect big tricks out of Colton. He's known for combinations. I would be very surprised if we did not see combinations on both the gap and the quarter pipe. Here we go.
Whoa.
That's called an air traffic
he holds
controller.
on. Oh my
Whoa.
goodness.
Air traffic
Wow.
controller. That's a trick invented by Dave Mira. It's a no-handed 360 backflip.
Wow, if he's trying that on his first run, that's pretty impressive. No elbow pad, so when he came down, it was all skin and bones here.
Let's see what went wrong here. Oh, just got a little
whip
front
on
end
it,
heavy
yeah.
a little bit.
Morgan Wade now, another really solid rider in the sport of BMX.
See what we get out of Morgan Wade, ride number one. No-handed backflip, great extension there. Here comes the air. One-handed tabletop.
Score, and once again, he did the no-hand backflip. Chad Kagi in, Vint Wade with an 88. No-handed backflip.
It looked like a no-handed backflip. It was actually a cliffhanger backflip right into a flare whip. He takes his feet and his hands off, holding on to his handlebars with his feet. It sounds insane. See if we can see it in slow motion. Feet holding on here, feet completely off the pedals, no hand. It's called a cliffhanger. Motocross guys steal a lot of tricks from BMX, but we stole that one back from those guys. Great run for Chad Kagi.
It's a score to beat. So Vince Bryan was going, what? We're already getting into this thing on the first run?
360 Superman seat grab, Indian air, right into a 540 tail whip on the quarter pipe. Two big tricks for the young Aussie, Vince Byron. The only Australian in this competition. Watch this one. 540, spinning 1.5 revolutions while the bike spins around him 360. I have a feeling we're gonna see another flip whip out of Anthony Napolitan here. Let's see. Turn down backflip, keeping it safe. What are we gonna get on the quarter? Quick little invert. Anthony wanted to get a solid score under his belt.
So Napolitan with an 83.33.
Michael Laren in, backflip can over the gap. Stretch and a one-handed one-footer, great extension on that.
Laren and Lecce have the same score. So here we go. Front flip.
Oh, yes, it is. Perfect front flip from the Brazilian. Yeah, tuck no-hander to Euro air. Great run for Dougie Fresh.
Wow.
I saw him kind of like throwing his weight forward, you know, simulating what would happen in a front flip.
Simon Tabron has a score of 86.67 and 85.33 for Doug. So he gets a little bit better score in his second run. So Simon Tabron, very decent score. He did that 360 to 540 a little while ago on his first run.
Also, I'd like to point out that Simon has no brakes on his bike. He's a little bit crazy to ride this ramp with no brakes. 360 with the variation, keeping it rolling. Yeah, table 5, that was awesome.
So Simon Tabron
Oh
being
yeah, a little
consistent.
one-handed 360, good call right there. Chad Kagi is in, backflip tail whip, perfect landing. Superman seat grab Indian air on the big quarter, yeah. We call that a backflip tail whip or a flip whip in BMX. The rider is going upside down and kicking a tail whip. And look at the extension on that Superman seat grab Indian. Both legs kicking out as far away from the bicycle as possible.
We will have more of the skateboard MiniMega ramp, and you can take a look at all the results right now after the first two runs. Chad Kagi with a 90.67, as I mentioned. Vince Byron in second, and Morgan Wade. This is after heat number 2 with 2 more runs to go. Stay with us. You're watching the Kia World Extreme Games right here in Shanghai, China. right now, we are in run 3 of the BMX Mini-Mega Final. Hello, everybody. I'm Paul Higgins, along with Zach Yankush, and we get set. Our current leader right now is Chad KWEG. No surprise there. Right behind him is our #1 qualifier, Vince Byron, but Zach Newman on the course right now.
Zach Newman with a big 360 X up, following that with a big tail up on the quarter pipe. Zach's riding really well, considering the fact that this is his first time ever riding Mini-Mega.
Well, check it out. As I mentioned about Zach Newman, his 3 runs, he got an 84. So every time on the ramp, he has bettered his score. Now he gets set for Ben Snowden. First run was a 77.67, and Zach, his last run was a 78. What do you expect here?
You know what, Ben's got a ton of tricks as well, and he's kind of been taking it easy a little bit, so I think Ben might step it up as well. No, I stand corrected. He's just taking it easy again.
The quarter pipe, I'm just wondering, I'm looking out, we're not directly in the wind, but it is definitely blowing pretty hard from the flags that I can see. I mentioned the wind, here it is, it's whipping around. And the athletes definitely look at the flags and they see how far they're blowing and where they're blowing, which direction, because it does matter. When the wind hits those spokes that are on those rims, it can throw you in wicked directions in the air. And if you're thinking it's going inverted or something, you might think twice about it.
Absolutely. Here we go with Neapolitan. Are we going to get a front flip out of this guy?
That's nuts.
Backflip, double tail whip.
And he holds on and he's able to at least do a no-hander.
Wow, he saved that when you saw his feet blow off.
Yep.
And some guys just would have hit the brakes, but this is the key of World Extreme Games. Anthony knows that he needs to take every opportunity to score. Backflip, double tail whip. In BMX, we call that a helicopter. His feet actually did not touch the ground, so that was going to count. That might be his best run yet. So now Michael Laren rolling in. What are we going to get out of Michael Laren's extended Superman C grab? And then an extended one-footed one-hander on the low side. What are we gonna get out of Dougie Fresh Liche? Here we go. Nice front flip.
Slip of the pedal a little bit.
I think he was looking for a no-handed front flip right there. So Liche, 3 runs in.
Here we go, looking at it one more time.
Now you see how the handlebars are all in his lap. That's because he wanted to take the hands off in a moment. Simon Tabron will be our next rider to go. Great Britain. He is a multiple world champion. Actually expecting twins with his wife Shayna.
Oh, that's great
in the
news.
fall.
That's great news. 86.67 as you mentioned it.
No-handed 360.
Big 540.
Great looking 540.
So he is laying down some very solid combinations and stuff, obviously tricks that he can do without a doubt. Here, the big 540.
Yeah, see him just getting tabletopped with it. Good combination, 2 tricks in 1. That's what the judges like to see.
So Simon Tabron, an 87 in his last run, so that increases his score. And we get set for Colton Satterfield, who's crashed a couple of times.
He's going to turn it up here for sure.
He hasn't fully crashed.
There
He
it
stays
is.
on.
No-handed 360 backflip. 1, 2,
Whoa.
3.
That's-
Triple tail whip, Paul. That was huge.
Triple tail whip.
2 big tricks. 360 backflip no-hander. We call it an air traffic controller right into a triple tail whip. Watch his hands. They call it an air traffic controller because that's what those guys at the airports do with those the lights. They bring the planes in, and then this one, 1, 2, 3 times around, triple tail whip on the big quarter. That might be the best run of the day thus far.
That's a game changer right there for this competition. Colton Satterfield had a couple of little slip-ups, and now he's got a 91. So there's a guy with perseverance right there. He didn't fully crash, but he did slip off his pedals and saved one, and then he comes away with a clean run at 91. So that is your leader right now.
And now he's put the pressure on. He's lit the fire on the rest of these guys. They know what they need to do. Top score is a 91 right now. Morgan Wade, focused and ready. Morgan can probably boost that quarter higher than any of these riders. See if he utilizes it. Here we go.
First running did a no-handed backflip there, a nice clean backflip. And then huge tail whip.
Big.
Double whip, right?
Double whip, yeah. Morgan, man, he is going so high on that quarter pipe. Yeah, a little foot plant tail whip on the wall of the quarter.
Getting himself up on the ramp there. And once again, we take a look at it. Clean backflip setting up for the quarter.
That's what it was. That trick right there was a setup. He just wanted to get a lot of pump to do a massive air. And that's exactly what we got out of Morgan Wade. Run coming in now.
84.33. They drop in the score. So he gets an 84.33. Again, his best run is an 88. Now we get set for Chad KWEG. Chad, here we go. He's got a bag of tricks.
Boom, a double backflip. Holy cow, right into a massive flare whip.
Wow.
We talked about it, Paul. All it takes is one rider to light the fuse. Colton Satterfield did that, came out with an amazing run, and everybody following him is stepping up their game. Double backflip out of Chad KWEG, and then watch this one. 180 backflip with a twist and a tail whip. We call it a flare whip. We saw a brand new one that he attempted. Is he gonna go for it again? There it was, decade to Superman C grab. Whoa, my goodness gracious, 540 double whip. Paul, we are seeing some incredible riding out of these guys. We have never before seen that. Decade to Superman seat grab. Traveling around the top of the bike, grabs it Superman seat grab style, gets back on, and then if that wasn't enough, let me throw a 540 double tail whip on the massive quarter pipe, saying, hey, judges, I screwed up my first couple of runs. Pay attention to me now.
Oh, my goodness. Vince Byron qualified first for a reason. We'll see what he gets here in a second, see how that shapes up the leaderboard. Pretty amazing. So right now we've got Chad KWEG in first with a 93, Colton Satterfield, and then 91, and Vince Byron from Australia with a 90.33.
The Kia World Extreme Games will be right back with more heart-pumping action after the break. The excitement continues at Jingwon Stadium here in Shanghai. Let's head back to the action.
It's going to be Ben Snowden.
So 10 riders narrowed down to 5. Pretty amazing. You would think that we're already at the podium side.
Snowden keeping it rubber side down. Big front flip. Tabletop to turn down. That's going to be the best score that Ben's had so far. Good combinations, pulling the front flip. Check this one out, front flip. This was an impossibility in BMX less than 5 years ago, and now guys are doing front flips over 30-foot gaps like we have here on the MiniMega.
So the field of 10 that you're watching now is going to get narrowed down to 5. And I cannot believe that we're seeing the tricks we are right now.
Yes, Superman backflip out of Neapolitan, following that up with a Superman seat grab Indian air. Yo, going off the course, but he stays on the bicycle, so that will certainly count.
We saw that skateboarding yesterday on this ramp. So Anthony Neapolitan makes a nice exit. There he comes. We can find you. You got cameras everywhere. There's the no-footed backflip.
Call it a super flip or a Superman backflip. Your feet are coming off. You're going upside down and pushing the feet as far away from the bicycle as possible.
Simon Tabron here in just a minute can change things up as Mikel Laren goes.
Mikel Laren going upside down, taking the feet off. Another one-handed one-footer. Mikel looks like he's chilling a little bit.
Yeah, yeah. Mikel, 84.67, competed a lot this week.
Backflip, the feet come off, spot your landing. His first Kia World Extreme Games. There it was, no-handed front flip, got the hands off there. One, tail whip, pulled out a little bit too much. Let's check this one out, watch his hands. The hands come off, that is a front flip no-hander. Then he goes for this tail whip, kicks it, and then gravity is pulling him away from the ramp, and he's missing, and then he just lands like a ton of bricks.
And they're looking at his lower part of his body on his ankles, and the ankles do take quite a pounding in this sport.
Yeah, especially when you're falling from 30, 35 feet in the air right to the ground.
So Simon catching a little wind up there right now because I can feel it where we are in the broadcast booth. So here we go, Simon Tabron.
See what Simon brings. 360 tabletop. Just floating a nice 540. Simon keeping it on the safe side.
And that's, you know, I'm curious. This is a very interesting play right here. He makes it into the final. He's been pretty somewhat conservative compared to what we've seen with some of the other guys.
Yes, very true.
He's got to have more than this.
You know what, he does, but the other thing we have to keep in mind is that MiniMega for Simon is kind of just a fun extra. He is a vert rider.
Right.
He certainly doesn't want to jeopardize or put himself in a position where he gets hurt on the MiniMega and then he can't keep competing in vert.
That's right. Good point. So Colton Satterfield, who just started this, ignited this competition a little while ago, and he does it again.
Oh my word! He is trying some of the craziest tricks I have ever seen in Shanghai. That was a 360 no-handed backflip to bar spin. Those are 4 crazy tricks in one: a 360, a no-hander, a backflip, and a bar spin. Watch his hands. They come off, get the hands back on, and then throws the handlebars in the middle of a backflip 360. And he just got a little back end heavy right there. And he starts for the slide. Wow.
Wow, stick around for that. That guy will be in the final. That's going to be exciting to watch him. Now we move on to Morgan Wade.
Morgan Wade, another guy that was, he's posing up and trying a trick just in waiting. I think we might see maybe a cannonball out of Morgan here. Cannonball's when the rider lets the bike go completely and grabs the seat with his hands. I could be wrong, but it looked like that's what he was thinking about. Let's see what he's got.
Well, he's trying to get in the final.
That is it. Oh, Morgan Wade.
That's why you wear a full face helmet.
That was actually a Superman seat grab cannonball. Cannonball is when you grab the seat and you stay close to the bike. He pushed the bike away from him here. Look at this. The extension got his hands back on and then just missed those pedals. Thankfully, he's okay.
So right now, the way it's going to shape up is Chad KWEG will be in the final. He could just go on a little soft run here, as could Vince Byron, because they're going to be in the final. It's just a matter of does he want to qualify first or not?
All right, so Chad KWEG in a position to win this thing. The highest score of the day, 93.33. Now here's the question for Chad KWEG. Does he turn it up knowing that he's got Colton Satterfield nipping at his heels? Let's see. Double backflip, sticking that one perfect. Oh! Chad Chad KWEG going flare double whip right there. The crowd here in Shanghai loves Chad KWEG.
Chad KWEG had a 93.33, the double back.
And then it's a flare double tail whip. Watch the frame. 1 time, 2 times around. He got a little top end heavy. Actually missed his pedal and missed his left pedal right there. Thankfully, he's okay.
So Vince Byron will end up the champion back-to-back. So Vince Byron, a 94, Chad KWEG, a 93. So how about that? Pretty impressed with this?
I am speechless right now, and that never happens with me because I'm an announcer. Here we go, Vince Byron, victory lap, cruising with a backflip. What are we gonna get on the quarter pipe? Just the chill air, because he knows he will be leaving this amazing stadium with another gold medal in MiniMega.
And he ends up with a 94, Chad KWEG with the silver, and Colton Satterfield wins the bronze with a 91. The reigning champion comes back, defends his title, and Vince Byron, the Aussie, just a super great guy. 2014, don't turn that sucker on, he might fly away. 2014 Kia BMX MiniMega World Champion. So how about that?
What an exciting, electrifying day it has been here at Zhongwan Stadium. A marvelous showcase of sporting skills from these great athletes. We hope you enjoyed the show, and do join us again next year.